Good morning, dear students. Best of luck for your periodic test second examination. Now we will start the revision of geography. The chapter name is Human Environment, Settlement, Transport and Communication. So now come on the chapter, and first we will start to revise these subtopics. So first of all, the first subtopic is settlements. Dear student, you know that settlements are places where people build their homes, and early human beings lived on trees and in caves. When they started to grow crops, it became necessary to have a permanent home, and the settlements grew near the river valleys as water was available and land was fertile. Understand? And you know that with the development of trade, commerce and manufacturing, human settlements became larger. Understand? So we will also know about the settlements. Settlements can be permanently or temporary. Settlements which are occupied for a short time are called temporary settlements. Understand? The people living in deep forest, hot and cold deserts, hot and cold deserts and mountains often dwell in such temporary settlements. Understand? Here people practice hunting, gathering, shifting, cultivation and transhumance. Afterward, we know that today we live in permanent settlements. In these settlements, people build homes to live in. Understand? There is one term you will know. The place where a building or a settlement develop is called a site. Understand? Dear student, you know that what is transhumance? Transhumance, it is a seasonal movement of people who rear animals, move in search of new pastures, meadows according to changes in seasons. Understand? Afterward, we are coming to the next subtopic, transport. Dear student, you know that transport is the means by which people and goods move. In the early days, it took a great deal of time to travel long distances. Understand? People had to walk and used animals to carry their goods. But due to the invention of wheel, made transport easier. With the passage of time, different means of transport developed, but even today people use animals for transport. Understand? We use in our country donkeys, mules, bullocks and camels are common. And in the Andes mountains, you know that South America, llamas are used as the yaks in Tibet. Understand? So these things we have known, but due to transport, the invention of wheel, today we can reach any place in a short span of time. Aeroplanes are also available. Aeroplanes have made travel faster, and you know that now it takes only 6 to 8 hours to travel from India to Europe. Afterward, we are coming to the next subtopic, roadwage. And the subtopic is roadwage. The most commonly used means of transport, especially for short distances, are road. They can be metalled, pakka road, which are made of tar, and unmetalled kacha road, which we will get in village area, especially the road of mud, we can say it. Roads have also been built in terrains like area like deserts, forest and even high mountains. Understand? In old book you have got Manali Leh highway in the Himalayan mountains is one of the highest roadways in the world, but you will get here the different thing. Khardung La 5600 meters or 1600 feet above sea level. In Tibetan region you will get, in Tibetan terrain you will get Khardung La, you will get that is the, in the Tibetan region is one of the highest roadways in the world. Understand? So you have to keep in your mind this thing. Roadways, don't you know that roads built underground are called subways, underpass. Flyovers are built over raised structures. The next subtopic is railways. Dear student, you know that the railways carry heavy goods, bulky goods and people over long distances quickly and cheaply also. The invention of steam engine and the industrial revolution helped the speedy development of rail transport. Diesel and electric engines have largely replaced has engines have largely replaced the steam engines. In places super fast trains have been introduced to make the journey faster. Understand? So you have known it, and one thing is you have to know that the railway network is well developed over the plain areas. Understand? And one thing you have to know that you have to know Indian railway network is well developed and it is the largest in Asia. Understand? Afterward we will come to the next subtopic, waterways. Before coming to the next subtopic, waterways, we have to know that Trans-Siberian Railway is the longest railway system connecting St. Petersburg in western Russia to Vladivostok on the Pacific coast. So come on the next subtopic, waterways. We have already learned, student, that since early days waterways were used for transportation, and waterways are the cheapest for carrying heavy and bulky goods over longer distances, and they are mainly in two types. One is inland waterways, second one is sea routes. So you know that the Ganga Brahmaputra river system, the Great Lakes in North America and river Nile in Africa. So you know that these are the example of inland waterways. Navigable rivers and lakes are used in inland waterways. Understand? Sea routes and oceanic routes are mostly used for transporting merchandise and goods from one country to another. Understand? Some of the important ports of the world are Singapore and Mumbai in Asia, New York, Los Angeles in North America, Rio de Janeiro in South America, Durban and Cape Town in Africa, Sydney in Australia, London and Rotterdam in Europe. Understand? So you have to know these. The next subtopic is airways. This is the fastest way of transport developed in the early 20th century, and it is also the most expensive due to high cost of fuels. Understand? And traffic is adversely affected by bad weather like fog and storm. It's only mode of transport to reach the most remote distant areas, especially where there are no roads and railways. And you know that helicopters are extremely useful in most inaccessible areas and in time of calamities for rescuing people and distributing food, water, clothes and medicine. So you have to know that some of the important airports are Delhi, Mumbai, New York, London, Paris, Frankfurt and Cairo. Afterward, we will come to the last subtopic from the chapter, communication. Student, you know that communication is the process of conveying messages to others. And with the development of technology, humans have devised new and fast modes of communication. Understand? So you have to know that today we use television, radio, mobile, internet. Understand? So these are the means of communication for us. And due to the help of means of communication, we can connect to the larger world, and we think that we are a part of a larger world, global world. Understand? Afterward, we will come to the next chapter. Now we will start the next chapter. The chapter name is Human Environment Interaction, the tropical and the subtropical region. So first we will start the division with the first subtopic, life in the Amazon basin. Dear student, you have noticed that the tropical region lies very close to equator, between 10 degree north and 10 degree south. So it is referred to as equatorial region. Understand? And the river Amazon flows through this region. Understand? And you know that. And notice that how it flows from the mountains to the west and reaches the Atlantic Ocean to the east. Understand? The student, you know that the place where a river flows into another body of water is called river's mouth. So many tributaries join to Amazon river to form the Amazon basin. Understand? So the river basin runs portion of Brazil, parts of Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia and small parts of Venezuela. Understand? The next subtopic is tributaries. Dear student, you know that these are small rivers that join the main river. The main river along with its tributaries that drain an area form a river basin or the catchment area. The Amazon basin is the largest river basin in the world. Understand? Afterward, we are coming to the next subtopic, climate of Amazon basin. Dear student, you know that the Amazon basin stretches directly on the equator and is characterized by hot and wet climate. Throughout the year, both day and nights are almost equally hot and humid. And when there will be hot, the skin feels sticky. It rains almost every day, that too without much warning. The day temperature are high with very high humidity. At night the temperature goes down but the humidity remains high. The next subtopic is rainforests. As you know that as it rains heavily in this region, thick forests grow. The forests are in fact so thick that dense roof created by leaves and branches does not allow the sunlight to reach the ground, and the ground remains dark and damp. Only you will get their shade tolerant vegetation grow there orchids, bromeliads grow as a plant parasite. And you will get their birds such as toucans, hummingbird, bird of paradise with their brilliantly colored plumage. Understand? You will get the animals there like monkeys, sloth, ant-eating tapirs are founded here. You will also get various species of reptiles and snakes also thrive in these jungles. You will get also crocodiles, snakes, pythons abound. Anaconda and boa constrictor are some of the you will get species. And besides, the basin is home to thousands of species of insects. You will also get here several fishes including the flesh eating piranha fish that is very popular found in the river, and the basin thus extraordinarily rich in the variety of life found there. Understand? So you know that here. Afterward we are coming to the next subtopic, people of the rain forests. Student, you know that while men hunt and fish along the rivers, women take care of the crops. Tapioca, pineapple and sweet potato. As hunting and fishing are uncertain, it is the women who keep their families alive by feeding them the vegetables they. And you know that they practice slash and burn agriculture. Slash and burn agriculture means that it is a way of cultivating land where farmers first clear a piece of land by slashing or cutting down the trees and bushes. Afterward they will burn, and afterward which releases the nutrients into the soil. Now crops are grown in this cleared field for a few years. After repeatedly using the patch of land, the soil loses its nutrients. Then they clear another plot of land to plant. In the same process, they will first cut, burn, and they will till the ground. Understand? Cultivate the harvest. So this process is known as slash and burn technique. So people, they practice slash and burn agriculture. The staple, the main food is manioc, also known as cassava, that grows under the ground like the potato. And they also eat queen ants and egg sacs. And their cash crops are coffee, maize and cocoa are also grown. Understand? You know that some families lived in thatched hut we can say that, shaped like beehives. And there are other large apartment like houses called maloka, with a steeply slanting a roof. Understand? So you know that life of the people of the Amazon basin is slowly changing. In older days, the heart of the forest could be reached only by navigating the river. In 1970, the Trans-Amazon Highway made all parts of the rainforest accessible, and aircrafts and helicopters are also used for reaching various places. The indigenous population who live there was pushed out from the area and forced to settle in new areas where they continued to practice their distinctive way of farming. Understand? So afterward we are coming to the next subtopic, Brahmaputra basin. This is the last subtopic from the chapter. Dear student, you know that the tributaries of river Ganga and Brahmaputra together form the Brahmaputra basin in the Indian subcontinent. The basin lies in the subtropical region that is situated between 10° north to 30° north latitude, and the tributaries of the river Ganga like Ghagra, the Son, the Chambal, the Gandak, the Kosi, and the tributaries of Brahmaputra drain it. Understand? Dear student, you know that Himalayas and the Sundarbans Delta are the main features of the basin. Oxbow Lakes dot plain area. The area is dominated by monsoon climate, and the monsoon brings rain from mid-June to mid-September. The summers are hot and winters are cool. Understand? You will get there. Here, vivid varied topography. The environment plays dominant role in the distribution of the population. You'll get the land here, fertile land for agriculture because of Ganga Brahmaputra basin. Understand? And the density of population is very high, and the main crop is paddy. Cultivation of paddy, you know that, requires sufficient water, and it is grown in the areas where the amount of rainfall is high. So another you will get crops are wheat, maize, sorghum, gram, and millets are the other crops that are grown. Understand? You will know that Bengal and Assam tea is grown in plantation. Silk is produced through the cultivation of silkworms in parts of Bihar and Assam, and in the mountains and hills slopes are gentle crops are grown on terraces. Understand? In the Ganga Brahmaputra plain tropical, you will get deciduous trees grow along with teak, sal, and people. You will also get thick bamboo groups are common in the Brahmaputra plain, and the delta area is covered with the mangrove forest. In parts of Uttarakhand, Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh, coniferous trees like pine, deodar, and fir can be seen because the climate is cool and the slopes are steep. Understand? So you will get that the variety of wildlife in the basin, elephants, tigers, deers, and monkeys are common. And one thing you have to know that the one-horned rhinoceros is found in the Brahmaputra plain, and in the delta area you will get Bengal tiger, crocodiles, and alligator are found. Aquatic life abounds in fresh rivers water, the lakes, and the Bay of Bengal Sea. The most popular variety of fish are found here: rohu, katla, and hilsa. Fish and rice is the staple diet of the people living in this area. Dear student, you know that the Ganga Brahmaputra plains has several big towns. Student, you know that the Ganga Brahmaputra plains has several big towns and cities. The cities of Allahabad, Kanpur, Varanasi, Lucknow, Kolkata, Patna, all with the population of more than 10 lakhs are located along the river Ganga. The waste water from these towns and industries is discharged into the rivers. The leads to the population of the rivers. So I hope that you have understood all these subtopics clearly. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you.